All right.
Now we're live.
Good morning, Google Hangout. All right. Good morning, John.
Good morning,
All
Chuck.
right.
So welcome to the John and Chuck Show.
Yeah.
A little new format going forward. For That's okay. That's okay. So we're ironing out bugs today, but we have a new format. We're excited about it. Hope you are too. We're excited not because we're excited about it, but we're excited for you because the stuff that we put on. Hopefully you've and I'm looking over here because I can see what you guys see. I can see the new format of our FFUSA University page, the page and the whole setup. It's deep. Like one of the things that Chuck said was.
All right. Google Hangout. There we go.
Good morning, Chuck. Welcome.
Perfect. It works. So.
It works, and we just got a little glimpse of actually what you see. Anyway, so this is the university, and this is the John and Chuck. This is the live acceleration call. This is what's going to these are going to be the coaching calls. So you can see across the tab or across the top, you see tabs, and let's walk through this and talk about and one of the gives and takes of what we're doing here is that you see we don't have headsets in, so if you ask us something, you say something, we can't hear it. But next week we're gonna and for our coaching calls and acceleration calls going forward, you'll be able to type in a question, and this just gives us a different capacity to have a greater number of people on. You can see things, which is better. Like we can write on the board, and like one of the things that Chuck was saying is that, man, the stuff that we have on university just on that home tab gives you so much depth, because people want to, if you're doing this, you probably are doing it for a reason. You're doing it to make more money, to have a better life and a better business, to be able to have all those things that you want. And so rather than having individual conversations about how to launch, we thought, let's give the best that we absolutely have, and have it so you can watch it, so you can study it. You can watch it over and over and over. You can ask questions about it. You have, like Chuck said, man, there's so much. There's everything that you need to write a ton of business live. And when everybody in the world can see what's at this home page, and you can always see it. Now the launch is everything else except connect. Everything else you need to be active. You need to be launching, or you need to be accelerating. That's why it's called launch and accelerate. So if you're relatively new, you're in the launch phase. And if you click on launch. So let's just walk through this real quick. So when you click on launch, you're going to see how to launch to your warm market, which is, man, it's a brilliant thing to do. Billionaires start there. And then we talk about cold market, and Chuck makes some sort of comment down there. It's like, the only reason you'd want to go cold is if you're in a
coma for 20 years, everybody knows that.
Yeah.
But some of us need to start there. I mean, and we get that, especially younger salespeople, or maybe your sales career has been something where you haven't really had an opportunity to build a big network. So we talk about how to do that from the beginning. And that's something that I wish that 25 years ago someone would have said, look, here's how you start your network. Because what's the quote? Your net worth is equal to your network. So,
right.
So we'll talk a lot about that, and then we get into the sales process. What are the words that we say? What do I say right when I'm in front of the merchant? What do I say at each level? What do I say when I'm asking for the statements? What do I say for the closing? And they'll basically lay out the process for you. So it's simple, because launch is everything. I mean, if you launch wrong, it's so hard to get back on track.
Man, it is. And some of you may have gone about this. We go about this a little different than probably most of the world goes about selling, but that's probably why we've been able to double, triple, quadruple the sales that what we call the crowd, the rest of the people do. And so we're believing that if we can show you exactly those methods, how so click that acceleration tab. Now, acceleration is for people who are accelerating. They've launched. They're accelerating, and they're getting going. By the way, if you have been doing this, or you're new, and maybe you started doing this like you were taught before, some of these techniques that most of the world teaches that we don't necessarily support, we support our method, because it's the way that it's a way to
Right.
double,
No,
triple,
so
and
it
quadruple
works,
your
yeah.
business. But if you've done it this other way and you go, man, I need to go back in and restart. Launch also means relaunch. So you can go back in and relaunch and go back to building the warm market we talk about later under acceleration. You can see we have overcoming objections, how to get referrals, how to do the give back program, leasing, a lot of stuff that we're going to continue to like equip.
We'll get deeper into it.
Yeah.
This is really why we wanted to design a format like this, is so we could take each one of these topics, really break them down. I think when you first start something, you kind of have, a general overview, is a little understanding is good. And then as you're perfecting and becoming better and better, you can get deeper into it. And you can get the little tiny intricacies that really will set you miles above what the other guys are doing. So we'll be able to do that here.
Yeah.
But can you scroll down a little bit too? And just to be clear, where we're at right now is we're looking at FFUSA University. When you log in, you'll see there's a link to click to it. And we'll read it at the end here. But we also talk joint ventures, which are, multiples. And I remember when John and I first started working together 20 years ago, and one of the things that me being a younger guy and and I remember he goes,
me being less young.
Yeah, John being less young. He goes, look, if it takes the same amount of energy to knock door to door as it takes to build a joint venture, where when you quit knocking on there, they still yield you deals and you have a referral source, where do you want to spend your energy? Spend your energy on the joint venture stuff, because when you're done making those cold calls or those lukewarm calls,
right,
you have this joint venture that's still spinning deals out for you. So we'll get into that on much more detail. And then we talk about what you'll see on the bottom, new merchants. New merchants are different. It's kind of like, the analogy I've always used is when my grandmother first got her cell phone. She was in her 80s and got her first cell phone, and she thought that she had to stay within a certain radius of her home. It's like, no, grandma, these work all over the place, So new merchants are different. They don't know. Maybe they've never accepted credit cards. So there's a little different ground that you need to cover with them. So there's a little different sales process that goes on. So we cover that. So really, we want to well-round you.
Yeah.
As an agent, that you can handle any of these scenarios that come up, and when do we start handling them? When's the right time to, I don't jump into the lion's den if I don't know how to tame lions yet. So, I want to learn this stuff in the right order.
Right, and that's why joint ventures are not in launch.
Yeah, right. You don't just go, hey, I'm going to just do joint ventures right away.
Right.
You got to work into that and get a little depth to you.
Yeah. So write a handful of deals, and then when you're active people are accelerating.
Right.
New people are launching, or newer people are relaunching. And coaching, this is what we're going to be, our live Monday morning calls are going to be these everything that we do, the John and Chuck show, are these acceleration, they're going to be recorded and they'll be put on coaching. And by the way, something that kind of a sideline on tangent on this Google Hangout, one of the reasons that is so when you're watching it, like right now, you can listen to it. You can listen to it and watch it. You can pause it, and let's say right in the middle of things, something comes up, and instead of leaving a live call when there could be something really cool, you can just hit pause, and then 18 hours later,
come right back to it.
Yeah, you can hit start, and it's going to start just exactly where you left off, and you can rewind and go, "What did Chuck say? That was really good. I want to use that." We can rewind it, listen, and then later you can watch it again 1,001 times, because it'll be posted right on under coaching, so you can go back and watch this. This is for active people. If it's for active people, because the people who are accelerating and growing want to go back and they work on themselves, and they go, okay, I'm going to go out to this market. I'm going to see what they were talking about for that subject. How would they do it? And then you can ask questions, and you still have agent directors. You've got all the support, and you've got us live. So next week too, you'll be able to type in questions. I think we'll have a moderator or something that goes, hey, Jim in Kentucky asked, how do you make $17 million, or whatever the case is. And then of course support. You can look at that, self-explanatory. That's where everything about money and sales tools and calculators, if you want to refer a buddy in, how you can do it there. If you need business cards, you want one of those cool FFUSA shirts, or I think Chuck is coming out with a new line of FFUSA Speedos.
Brazilian cut.
Brazilian, yeah, right. So if you want one of those, you're gonna have to, get it right from here. And then of course any documented paperwork. We're in the banking business. You have paperwork from here to the moon and back, and then Connect. Of course, we talk a lot about Connect. It's the marketing tool, the sales and marketing tool that we use, and we've used for a long, long time. And now you have access to it also. So that's it. There's a lot there. I mean, we put this together because we're asking ourselves, how do we give more value? How do we give more value, and how do we? And so one of the things we reformatted this. We've got the feedback over the course of years. Is that when we used to? This is the first time we do live video together. We've done a lot of recordings together, or we've done live audio. For years we did that, and just got away from it. Things get busy, and you just kind of drift away. But we had tremendous feedback. Right. People loved having both of us on, and
it helped us bring to you guys what you need.
Yeah.
When you hear exactly what's going on in that front line or front level, and you go, oh, okay, let's how do we work that out? How do we figure that out? How do we get around that? Because really, we want to get better. Everybody wants to get better. We want to get better for you. We want you guys to get better in this industry. We want you to be that sales professional, making that sales professional money, that 6 figures a year, and building and growing from there. And I believe this is we spend a lot of time on this.
Spent a lot of time on this.
And this is everything that you need to know is in this format right here, and in what we're doing. And you'll learn the other stuff on what terminals do what, and how rates work, and all that kind of stuff. That stuff you'll learn. But this right here, if you follow this actually, I spent some time on the homepage that gets a great overview. There's a handful of videos on the homepage that talk about the method that and John wrote in his book. It talks about, look, here's rewire yourself a little bit. And I know, and I deal with salespeople all day long, and they come in and they have something that they feel looks and acts and does what this does, but it doesn't.
Right.
And you can see it by results. So follow this stuff. Go to homepage, go through the videos. There's like 4 there, I think, or 3 or 4. 4 there. Go through those. Then go on to launch. Look, how do I get off and do this on the right?
Well, it's how to apply that. All those things on the homepage. It's really how to do it. And you have a unique opportunity here, really. And I'm not saying this to impress you, but to impress upon you. If you do this stuff, this is not what the average person does. If you want average person productivity, do whatever the rest of the world's teaching you. If you want super productivity, like we've experienced, and everybody else who's ever run this, literally the people that run this make 4 times more money. The people that don't make regular money. So it really comes down to that.
And I think they live longer too. It's less stress.
Well, they're sexier. All those things. And of course they live longer. We'll have to start doing this at a late night infomercial about longevity. Just join First Financial and do the method. So that's what it is. Just get on and do that. You've asked your agent director questions about it. You'll have us come to these live calls and do participate, because when you can always watch them. You can watch them 1,001 times as long as you're active and have access. When you show up, when it's live, you have the opportunity to ask us your questions. So, which is always more beneficial than hearing somebody else's questions. It's always nice to hear other people's questions too, because you get the questions from everybody on the team. But you go, but what about?
Well, your situation may be a little different. There might be just a little intricacy that we need to get through. But before we part, let's make sure, do us a favor, do us a big favor. When you watch this stuff, comment. We want to make sure that we've covered everything. If we forgot something or something's not clear, or you just make a comment. Let us know what you're seeing, and we'll we might have to get our Actors Guild cards out again and reshoot some stuff. But we'll make sure that we're giving you the best that we know how to give you, and apply it and go to a whole new level. I mean,
time to accelerate.
Yeah, time to accelerate. So,
all right,
excellent.
Thank you very much. See you next Monday.